Thank you. Yeah, we can sit down. Permit me to welcome Dr. R.J. Tanko from NAPRI. Please take him directly to the high table. Put your hands together for Dr. R.J. Tanko. Now we'll be taking the welcome remarks from the Deputy Director General of Iita, Dr. Kendall Dashil. So now we take the welcome remarks. Thank you very much.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to be here with you virtually in Zaria. I'm speaking to you from Ibadan. I wish I was there with you. I had actually planned to arrive in Zaria yesterday afternoon, but some things made it impossible for me to travel as expected. But I am with you there in spirit, and I'm glad I can meet you virtually this morning. I would like to give a special welcome to the dignitaries that have come to be with us this morning. We really appreciate you being with us. I'm referring to Alaja Halima Lawal, the Kaduna State Commissioner of Agriculture, Chidinma Lawson, the country head, Nigeria MasterCard Foundation, Haja Mariam Mwazu, the Director, Youth Ministry of Human Services and Social Development, and Professor Ikani, the Executive Director of NAERLS. Thank you very much for coming to our event today. But my most important welcome is to our beneficiaries, the youth who have been with us, participating in many activities, including capacity development activities. And now you have completed that portion of the program. The program still has a long way to go, but because you've completed that portion of the program, we want to now refer you to as our iYouth Fellows. So congratulations for becoming an iYouth Fellow. Today is a very important day for our iYouth Fellows, and I really want all of you to take full advantage of the program we're having today. The future is in your hands. Of course, that's always been true, but it's especially true now. You have been learning some technologies, some skills that can help you move forward in your career, whether that be starting your own business or entering into becoming an employee with a reputable company. I want you to think back on some of the trainings you've had. And one of the things that you have been exposed to is new technologies, or let's call it science-based technologies that you've acquired from the different facilitators that have given training programs. It's critically important that these technologies be followed precisely and exactly so that you can get the full benefit of improved technologies. And if you're growing a crop, get the highest yield. If you're growing livestock or you're managing livestock, get the most productivity, the most weight gain, the most number of eggs, etc., whatever the output is. It's critically important that, so for example, you follow exactly the requirements for quality seed, quality fertilizers, getting the right herbicides, the right insecticides. It's important that you follow exactly the quantity and the timing. If it is 20 kg per hectare, make sure you apply 20 kg per hectare, not 50, not 5, it needs to be 20. If the spacing is 5 centimeters, make sure the spacing of the seeds, for example, is 5 centimeters and not 10 centimeters, and not 1 centimeter, but 5 centimeters. Many of these technologies will be best when you can have some simple mechanized tools to make the work, first of all, more accurate, but also, secondly, much less labor intensive. IU fellows, you have also been exposed to business practices. What are the best ways to get a loan? What are the best ways to manage your finances? How do you keep records to ensure that you are being efficient and you are profitable? How do you keep records so you can see where you've made mistakes and make corrections? Those soft skills that you've been thinking about or you've been learning. How do you best present yourself as an individual so that you can get that job or you can get that loan if you're having a business? How do you best manage your staff if you're employing people or you're supervising people? How do you manage them? How do you communicate with them so that you get the most productivity out of them? All of these things are critically important to be successful. Technologies, business skills, soft skills. Let's pay attention to them very much. Now, the future starts right now. Please take full advantage of listening and learning from the panel discussions that you will be presented today. It's really important that you do that and be ready to ask the important questions. Jot down those questions so that you can ask them during the sessions today. But you know what? If you can't get your question in during this limited time we have today, get those questions answered later by your iYouth team members or by the specialists that have been with us today. I also want to make a comment, again, looking to the future. You all belong to a community, and that community can help you to succeed if you let them, if you work with them, if you partner with them. Your community will become your partner, helping you to be successful. And actually, an important part of that community is the other iYouth fellows that you are with already. How can the business they are starting help you be successful? How can the contacts that they have with private companies help you to get a job? All these things are important. You are not alone. You are with a community. And I want to let you know that another important part of that community that you already have is your IITA team. IITA is an organization that has been here in Nigeria for 54 years. And yes, we know about agriculture in Nigeria, and we can help you to be successful. We want to be your coach. We want to be your mentor. We want to be your advisor. And so let's work hard to keep that communication channel open. You already have friends and colleagues in iYouth. Maintain those friendships, maintain those professional relationships so that you can get the advice that you need, so you can get the mentoring that you need. So iYouth fellows, once again, you are welcome. Our colleagues that have come to participate in the panels, we really appreciate you taking time out to share your knowledge with us today. And the VIPs I referred to earlier, we really appreciate your support today. And we really expect and hope that you'll be with us for the next many years, helping the youth in Kaduna State become successful entrepreneurs and in successful employees to make agriculture stronger in Kaduna State, to help Kaduna State to really move forward in your economic and agriculture development plans. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to just share a few of my thoughts with you. And I wish you great success throughout the rest of the program today. Thank you very much.
Yeah, a resounding applause for Dr. Kenton Dashiell. Yeah, to take us to the next
Good morning,
program,
ladies and gentlemen.
I wanted to
It's a
make
pleasure
welcome
to be
Chidinma Lawansin. She is the country head, Nigeria MasterCard Foundation, for our goodwill message. Put our hands together for Ms. Chidinma Lawansin. Thank you.
Hello, good morning. I'm the country head Nigeria for Mastercard Foundation. I'm welcoming you all to this iYouth Annual Conference being organized by IITA. IITA is in partnership with the Mastercard Foundation under our Young Africa Work Strategy. A little bit about Mastercard Foundation. We were founded in 2006 by a gift from Mastercard, the corporate, but we have different boards, different governance issues. We're really two different organizations. And most of our activities are focused on capacities to learn. We create environments where everyone can learn and prosper. The prosper aspect is financial inclusion. So we operate in Canada, focusing on indigenous persons. And then we also operate under our Young Africa Work Strategy in 7 countries. The strategy is to ensure that youth aged 15 to 35, just like you all, especially young women, 70% young women, would have access to dignified and fulfilling work. So it might be paid employment, it might be entrepreneurship. So we're in Kenya, in Rwanda, in Uganda, in Ethiopia, in Ghana, in Senegal, and in Nigeria. And each country chooses the areas where they would focus. For us in Nigeria, our target is to ensure that by 2030, 10 million Nigerian youth would have that dignified and fulfilling work. So we're focusing 70% of our work on agriculture, which is exactly the space where you are. 20% on creative industry, so music, film industry, entertainment, all that. And then 10% on digital economy, although we are mindful that the digital has transversed all other projects and sectors. So now, why the iYouth project? We're implementing it with IITA so that we'll be sure that we develop the skills of young people, as I said, aged between 15 to 35 years old. So IITA will prepare them for gainful employment or entrepreneurship within the agri-food value chain sector in Nigeria. So, and in this project, IITA, between 2020 and today, average of 6,000 young people in Kano, Kaduna, and Lagos states, they've benefited from the training from IITA. They've been trained, coached, mentored. Some have seen demonstration farms, and they've stopped thinking of agriculture as what their grandparents did with a lot of drudgery and hoe and some old implements. There are many different aspects. There's the logistics, the haulage side in agri-food businesses. There's the manufacturing, turning the produce into another processed food item. There's just the aggregation model where people, the fertilizer, the herbicides, the quality seeds, they are all part of agriculture. They are handheld drudgery for them. There is agri-tech, the drones that look after orchards of farmland to ensure that coordinates of farms are being obtained. There's the research, there's the quality seeds. There's so many aspects of agri that IITA is going to expose you to. Then they will mentor you, the youth, and will support many of you who have entrepreneurial concerns, entrepreneurial ideas, and there are startup things that can happen, and also create employment linkages. There are some platforms they will link you to so that you can put out your competencies there and have access to real dignified and fulfilling work. So this conference is to serve as a platform for networking and for mentoring the youth. You've been successful in many areas. How do we bring you together to see your lookalikes and see the possibilities and synergies that can happen? So this conference brings together stakeholders, partners, youth, the beneficiaries. How do we ensure that this project, in collaboration with Mastercard Foundation, will be successful for the next 5 years, but will be sustainable thereafter? Because the projects are not just to happen, and at the end of it, everything goes back to the default mode. How can we sustain this and ensure that more youth are brought into the agricultural sector, have expanded opportunities, access to markets? There are people that produce goods, they don't have anywhere to sell them. So these linkages all under this innovation much. I wish you all of you a successful conference. Take the takeaways, use them to build in yourselves, and I wish you all the best in your journey. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. Put your hands together for Ms. Chidinma Lawson. I wasn't talking to myself. I said you put your hands together for Ms. Chidinma Lawson. I want to appreciate the present and as well acknowledge and welcome Mr. Yahaya Mohan. He is representing the Commissioner of Agriculture of Kaduna State. Please, can you bring him to the high table here? Put your hands together for him. Thank you very much. At this point in time, I will want you help me make welcome up to this podium Malang Adamu. He is actually representing the Commissioner, Honorable Commissioner of Education. So put your hands together for Malam Musa Adamu for his goodwill message. Well, you have to keep clapping until he gets here. This stage is very far. Yeah. You have to keep clapping. Just keep clapping, keep clapping, keep clapping until he comes here. For our traditional leaders, we will be having interpreter that will come at certain instances to interpret what we have been saying so that we take everybody along. Thank you very much. You are welcome, sir.
Mr. Chairman, sir, all the existing protocols duly observed. The Honorable Commissioner, Kaduna State Ministry of Education, Dr. Shehu Muhammad Makarfi, who is unavoidably absent, wishes the organizers, the participants, as well as beneficiaries of the program or the conference to make good use of the skills acquired. The government of Kaduna State hope and pray that in the next 5 years, our teeming youth, especially between 15 and 35, between 15 and 35, will step down to the remaining teeming youths, so as we shall benefit from what they have learned and the skills they have acquired. At the end, the whole nation and the states affected will be fed and we benefit from all they have gained. I want to use this opportunity to wish us good deliberations from the start to the end of the program. Thank you, and thank you.
So you have to keep clapping for the representative of the Commissioner of Education. We are really humbled to have you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. While the speech was going on, we had the entrance of the executive manager of the iYouth Project Nigeria in the person of Miss Ali Mogishu. Can we put our hands together to receive Miss Ali Mogishu? She's in our midst. So before I make welcome Miss Ali Mogishu, I want us to put our hands together for Dr. R.J. Tanko from NAPRI for his goodwill message. Put your hands together until he gets to the stage. That's the formula. Keep clapping, keep clapping.
All existing protocols observed. I really consider this a very important gathering. And I'm excited about it because of the caliber of people involved. When I say caliber of people involved, I mean the youth. For quite a while, agriculture has been looked upon as the job for the poor, the job for the villager, the job for those who don't have something else to do. But I'm sure by now we are realizing that we have turned the whole thing upside down, because agriculture is the lifeline virtually for everything. We have this problem today of youth roaming the streets. You've graduated from the university, from the polytechnic, and you are carrying your certificate for 3, 4, 5 years, going from office to office, looking for government job, and there is no hope. And then you go back to the village and you ask for money from the man who is toiling from morning till evening. He harvests his rice, he sells it and gives you part of that. The opportunities are enormous in agriculture, let me tell you. And there are so many things, 1,001 things you can do in agriculture. I move around, and you see fields. You hardly see young men, young women engaging in the production or the sales of this produce. But there is a lot you can get from that. You don't have to have 1,000 hectares, 100 hectares to do a thing. There are things you need less than 1/4 hectare. How much area do you need to raise fish? How much land do you need to put up a fish pond? Or just a small backyard poultry? Or if you have an orchard that has just 50 stands of mango, how much money would you make from that? And this is the right time to start anyway, for those of you who are not thinking about it. If you can put down a small orchard, 50 stands of oranges or 50 stands of mangoes. The mangoes we have these days are not the kind we grew up in the village seeing, that the thing has to grow so tall before it starts producing. Within 2-3 years, you are starting to harvest. Sorry for going that way, but sincerely, I think for those of you who are here, you are privileged. And I will plead with you that none will finish this training, attending this conference, will go back and begin to be begging for a job to sit in the office. There are so many hungry mouths. Food is never enough. Produce, you will get somebody who will take it off you. And so I pray, let us forget about what we knew about agriculture in the past. We are going into a new era. And like Dashel said, please stick to the specifications. Those things are not just out of the air. They are research results that have given you the kind of yield you need. So don't go like our parents or our foreparents did. If they say this is how to do it that way. It may be a bit more tedious, but at the end, it will more than pay off. So please, I beg that all of you here, tomorrow, I want you to see yourselves established wherever you are,
and linking up with one another. You may be in one area, your colleague is in another area. Where you are, somebody is looking for the services of that person. In Ilorin, you are in Zaria, you link him up. You can be someone that would take what your colleague is producing in Zaria, in Ibadan. It's a way of linking up, and there is great benefit in it. I pray that at the end of this, we'll go out of this place determined to put to use the investment made in our lives here. And God will bless your efforts. Thank you very much.
All right, keep clapping for that powerful goodwill message. Yeah, so I'll welcome our interpreter briefly to just interpret what has been said so that our colleagues and our parents in the building that can, so that we're able to take everybody. Please put your hands together for Mukhtar as he comes to give, celebrate him, encourage him. All right.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Sunana Ibrahim Mu'azi Ibrahim. Na tsaya a nan ne domin na fassara bayanan da aka yi a baya a takaice. So zan yi bayani, zan dan faɗi abubuwan da masu jawabi na da suka gabata suka yi. Abubuwan da suka fi muhimmanci a ciki zan yi magana a kai. Zan fara da sako mai jawabi na farko, wato Deputy Director General kenan na Iita. A cikin jawabinsa ya yi maraba da dukkan bakin da suka samu halartar wannan sako, sannan kuma a cikin jawabinsa ya yi kira ga matasa waɗanda aka ba training, waɗanda aka horar akan sabbin dabarun noma, da cewa wannan abubuwa da aka koya muku ya kamata ku bi shi daki-daki, kamar yadda aka ce idan an ce spacing tazarar shuka santimita 5 ce ko 20, to ka daure ka bi santimita 20 din nan. Ta haka ne kawai za ka samu amfani mai yawa a gonarka, domin kuma ka samu ƙarin kuɗi a aljihunka. Sannan kuma a cikin jawabinsa ya yi bayani cewa gaba ɗayanmu mun taso ne daga gurare, garuruwa ko communities gaba ɗayanmu. So wannan community din abubuwan da muka koya a wannan training din, a wannan horaswa da aka bamu mu matasa, ya kamata mu koma can su masu amfana da shi. So wannan shine jawabinsa a takaice. Sai kuma mai jawabi na gaba, mai girma wakilin kwamishinan ilimi na jihar Kaduna ya yi bayani cewa gwamnatin jihar Kaduna tana fata matasan da aka horar 'yan shekaru 18 zuwa 35 za su yi amfani da abubuwan da suka koya domin ciyar da jihar Kaduna gaba da ma sauran da ma Najeriya baki daya. Sai kuma mai jawabi na karshe na kusa da ƙarshe na wanda ya gama jawabi yanzu kenan, a cikin jawabinsa ya yi magana cewa mutane da yawa sun ɗauka sana'ar noma sana'a ce ta 'yan ƙauye ko kuma waɗanda ba su da aikin yi. So amma a cikin jawabin ya ƙara da cewa yanzu dai mutane la'alla sun fara fahimtar cewa sana'ar noma ba sana'a ce ta masu marasa aikin yi ba ko ta 'yan ƙauye, saboda mahimmancin da noma yake ci. Ya ba da misali cewa ba sai lallai kana da hekta 10 ko 5 ko 20 ko 100 sannan za ka fara noma ba. Za ka iya fara harkar noma kuma sannan ba ta kunshi iya zuwa gona a ɗau fatanya ko a yi noma shine noma ba. Akwai sauran harkokin noma da suka hada da kiwon dabbobi, shuka irin su lemu da sauransu. A inda ya bada misali, za ka iya fara harkar noma da shuka bishiyar mangwaro kwaya 50, saboda ko kuma tsiran lemu kwaya 50. Sannan kuma ya ƙara da cewa wannan abubuwan da wannan dabarun noma na zamani da aka koya muku ba wai kawai an zo an faɗa muku ba ne, a'a an samar da su ne sakamakon bincike da ake ta yi har aka kawo haka. Kuma a ƙarshe ya ce wannan shi kaɗai ne, bin wannan dabarun noma shi kaɗai ne zai samar maka da amfani mai yawa a gonarka. Na gode, wannan shine ƙarshen jawabin.
Please put your hands together for him. Yeah, just coming in here is the director, executive director of NAERLS, Professor Ikani. Please, can you put your hands together for the executive director? Put your hands together until he takes his seat on the high table. We are humbled to have you, sir. So you make me welcome right now our executive manager, iYouth Nigeria, Ms. Aline Mogishu, as she speaks about the vision of this project. So ladies and gentlemen, with a resounding applause, you will keep clapping until we have her on this podium. Put your hands together for Ms. Aline Mogishu. I'm not satisfied with our applause. Put your hands together. Keep clapping, keep clapping.
Good morning. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, honorable delegates and representatives of the Minister of Agriculture, allow me to stand on previously elaborated protocols for the interest of time, and welcome everybody again to the first ever chapter episode of iYouth Connects. You are warmly welcome. I'm getting a sign I should get off my mask again. Yes. So I'm actually excited to host you today on this platform to connect, to discuss, and to present the important role that you can play into our labor force within the agriculture sector. The truth is you have now been given knowledge, but this knowledge, unless it is put into good use, it will not be sustainable. And so, my valued directors in the room, I'm referring to the youth present, our own iYouth fellows, that I believe has taken the effort to be here today for us to understand how committed and how engaged you are into making the contribution that the sector strongly needs, and Kaduna, northern Nigeria, and the rest of the African continent. There's a saying in my language that says you can have the field, but if the laborers are not there, you will remain poor. Is that true? So today we have the laborers and we have the field. So what's going to happen now? I think the first step into that is to call to the attention of those that are available here the fact that the youth is the only workforce needed between today and 15 years from now to make Nigeria a food-secure country. Do you believe in yourself? Okay, so somebody needs to be telling me that they are very angry with the way marketing on agricultural products is going on in this country. And I believe in this room, I have somebody interested in marketing. Do I have anybody interested in marketing? This is a teaching hospital, and we are part of the university facilities, which automatically means that there's research going on every day from the NRLS, from the IITA, to make sure that agriculture becomes the biggest priority and the only way through which we can have a stream of food system that's never dry. And that requires you. We need the fish, but who's going to be working on the fish ponds if you are not employed? So it is very important as we sit down and look into the job market to equally understand the contribution that we are able to make to that market, to that sector, to absorb the knowledge and to be able to be innovative and creative, because you know what? There's a principle that we need to be able to put forth if we need to grow faster. We need to wake up, dress up, and show up. And the second thing is, you can have a job that is available, or you can create an opportunity for yourself. There's a lot of companies that are at the verge of dying because they don't know how they can uplift their economies, their marketing, they can boost their product presentation. And we have here people that have learned how to do that. And I'm proud to say that the youth that is here present, in the next few months, in the next few years, will become the game changers in the agriculture sector. Are we together? So, fellow youth, as we move with this program and ahead, we have to understand that decent and dignified and fulfilling work is the key objective of this program. That's our last stop. The youth must find fulfilling and dignified work. Does that sound good? If it does, then we need to work together with every person in this room to make that happen. I would like again here to reiterate the commitment of my institute, because as you know, IITA is among the very rare institutes that have believed in the young people. And today here, this program you're seeing is a result of the great commitment from our Director General, to whom we owe a very huge gratitude. So thank you for your commitment. Thank you for your courage. It is hard to be without a job. But my people and I are going to work every day to ensure that the sector is opening up for people like you. And we will not rest until that happens, no matter how long that takes. Zacchaeus, are you okay with that? Okay. Vera, are you resting? Because you shouldn't. We need jobs in Kaduna. We need jobs for these young people here. And if those jobs are not available, we need to find them. And we will find them. I will bring my friends to the table and the different ministries here represented. And I will ask them to call their friends and friends of their friends until we get the jobs. That will help us to make Kaduna a food secure state. Thank you very much. Shukran. Salam alaikum.
Please, a resounding applause for that speech and that assurance. That tells you a whole lot. I'm not expecting you to stop clapping. She's not yet on her seat yet. Yeah. So, they called my name. They said we should not rest. We have not been resting and we will not rest until everybody has secured jobs. So, please make welcome with me to the podium Professor Emmanuel Ikani, who is the Executive Director of NARLS, for his goodwill message. Put your hands together until he gets up this place. Thank you, sir. Keep clapping. It's a long journey. Keep clapping. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I want to stand on the existing protocols to just give you a brief of our part, NALS part in this move. But let me appreciate you for coming. I came late because I'm just coming from a Board of Governors meeting, the Vice Essential. That's why I came late. I just had to take a permission to be here briefly. But let me say this. We are part and parcel of what is happening in this program. And I'm excited that you are responding to this call. One of my daughters wrote a thesis last year, and in the opening paragraph, she says there's a difference between knowing and doing. There's a difference between knowing and doing. And that boils down to what my sister who just left here said, that you have gained the knowledge. What you're going to be doing, that knowledge will determine how far you go to achieve the purpose of this training. But let me say this. I saw on the poster, building a new generation of agripreneurs. Building a new generation of agripreneurs. This is dear to the heart of NALS. In person, I believe that the old generation have done their bit. For us to transit from traditional way of doing agriculture, cutlasses and hoes, for us to transit from there, we need new hands. And that is in you, the youth. We should not be deceiving ourselves. If you go out there, our agri-space till today is over 80% operated by cutlasses and hoes. That's the truth of the matter. Since 1960, started doing modern agriculture. And that is an indictment that we're not doing enough, we're not doing good enough. So I want to employ, and I've told this during the last National Council on Agriculture, I was one of the speakers, I told them that you cannot continue like this. Where in the 21st century, we continue to do agriculture with cutlasses and hoe. That is why it is difficult to mobilize youths into it. Because the youths have gone digital. You remember, even the last process, NSAS process in Lagos, it was digitalized. So they said the same people to come and use cutlass and hoes. I do not think that for you to be successful in agriculture, it has to be through stress of cutlasses and hoes. We have institutions that are fabricating simple, very simple machines, but appropriate, that can work on our land. Income in Ilorin is one. So please, I want to plead with us that in this partnership with IITA, we are ready to begin to modernize the Nigerian agriculture, not by going to import sophisticated combine harvesters and heavy tractors. Let's start with what we have, simple tools. India started that way. Simple tools, not as sophisticated as you see in Europe, but work. They are appropriate. And have an institute that is responsible for this type of a thing. So youth, I'm encouraging you, don't wait for government. No nation is developed by government. Nations are developed by citizens who have been empowered and have the capacity, have the competence, they have the skills, they have the expertise. Government is just to govern. So don't wait for any government to fix you. Fix yourself. And that is the purpose of this empowerment. So for any others, what I will bring on board in this? During the pandemic last year, during the lockdown, I had the inspiration that the lockdown did not lock down our brain, neither did it lock down our mind. So put our brain and our mind together in my institute, and we're able to produce 11 how-to-do bulletins. One of them is agripreneurship, how to unlock the potential in agribusiness. It's in our place. You can pick it free of charge. And inside that book, you see how to develop plans, business plan, and all those, how to do it. We have that. Those of you who want to go into poultry, you have plenty how to do books. Because I see battery cages in your poster there. You can pick your place because modern agriculture is knowledge-driven. It is knowledge-driven. You must have the competency, you must have the expertise, you must have the skills to drive it. And you can't do that without knowledge. So come to any others. We have plenty books on how to do it. They are free. You don't need to pay. And in all areas, if you want to go into the value chain, you want to go into marketing, if you want to go into processing, if you want to go into whatever, we're ready to work with you. And I want to appreciate IITA. My institute has been working with IITA since in the 70s. And we cherish the relationship. We'll continue to work at it to strengthen the relationship and make sure that this drive to bring in youth into the Nigerian agriculture will partner to get it done. I believe 100% in it. That will be the rescue for our dream to transit from traditional agriculture to the modern one. And I want to thank you for coming. Take advantage of this opportunity. What you have learned, get it into practice, deploy the knowledge, and be an entrepreneur, an agri-entrepreneur, a business, because this is the day, this is the time of agriculture. If you look at the GDP report by the NBS, the National Bureau of Statistics, agriculture has become number one, contributing to the GDP of the country. Petroleum was not even number 3. And that is a news that what is going to move this country forward is agriculture. So let's take advantage of this information, of this training, of this capacity building, and be there. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much, sir. Keep putting your heads together. Yeah. So at this moment, we'll just welcome the members of the high table for a brief photo session. Can we put our hands together as they come forward? Let's take a photograph session. Yes. Put your hands together. Yes, sir. Yeah. Up. Yes, sir. So after that, we'll be going out briefly. Only the members of the high table and our panelists and our invited dignitaries will be going out for the handing over. And community leaders will all follow this door and go out for the handing over of mechanization or machines to secondary schools immediately after this photo session. All right. While we also take the tea break at the same time. Help me welcome Dr. Folorunsho Latif. Is the Deputy Provost, College of Agriculture. Sama Rosaria, put your hands together for Dr. Folorisho Latif. Also put your hands together as you make welcome Dr. Job Anthony, who is also the head technical for ValueSeed, is here present. So put your hands together for them. Put your hands together as well for Annabelle Kamuke. She's the MD of NICER. She's here with us. Put your hands together for Miss Annabelle Kamuke. So members of the high table, we can just start going through this door for the handover of machines outside. Our traditional rulers can as well follow. Parents of students, secondary school students here present can sit down there. So our parents can also go out for. Then my honorable beneficiaries, can we go out for our own photo session outside? Let's do that simultaneously. Let's use that door for our own photo session outside. All right, you can keep sitting for your tea break. Yeah. Our dignitaries from Dabol, from Premier Seat, Nectar Roll, Wisdom Control can all go out for the handover ceremony. Thank you very much. Yeah. Also make welcome representative of the Deputy Director of NARLS. Is here as the head of mechanization unit. He was here yesterday and is here today. Please put your hands together for Engineer Isore. Thank you, sir. Join them in the handover, yeah. Thank you. So you can just take your seat. You'll be served your breakfast on your seat.
And this machine have advantage moreover than the local machine we are using some years, 2 years back. This machine save time, it remove drudgery, it most to farmers. It act as cooperator to the farmers, because if I have this machine, maybe it's more expensive to buy. Maybe my neighbor don't have money to buy this machine. If you come and interact with me, we operate. This machine increase my revenue. The revenue my farm giving me. The revenue my farm giving me. Before I start anything to this machine to operate in the farm, I have to check the engine part and check the machine to check the problem and troubleshoot the problem. Firstly, I have to make sure I wear PPE. Then I come and check my fuel. Maybe there is not fuel inside. Then if it's fuel, and check my plug. Maybe it's if I check that, from the machine.
Good day, sirs and mass. My name is Zainab A. Yusuf, a student from GS. Give explanation on this machine, which named by and STEP. I benefit from STEP because they reduce drudgery for me, and also this machine is very good because it you want to transfer to the pump. You used to wear this one, and if you get back to that, if you want to reach, you put this one. And also, this machine has so many basic components. The accelerator is used to engage and disengage the engine, the up switch, the power on and off switch, the gear it for your time is the the fuel tap, the fuel tank. This one is the chuck. This one is a fuel tap, and this one is the star key. But and also, I would like to talk about PPE because for the uses of this machine, wearing PPE is very good. PPE like nose masks, hand glove, boots, overall, and anti-noise. And also, this machine have two types of speech. The low speed and high torque, which is used for transportation. And the other one is low speed and high torque, which is used for palm operation. This machine is very good because it reduces palm drudgery. And there are several advantages for this palmer for this machine over traditional method. It saves time. It reduces drudgery. I would like to talk about troubleshoot.
Thank you.
My name is Marja Kabiru from Government Secondary School Bomo. This machine you see is the multipurpose seed laser application. The machine like fertilizer box, seed box, the fertilizer out, the seed out, and this one. This is metering cover. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I'm Abu Jafaru, student sprayer conductor. The name of this machine is mist sprayer conductor. The basic component of these machines are switch, the chemical, the engine, the noise machine. I use this machine in my farm for projection of water. I use this machine for the basic advantage of this machine over than traditional method. It saves time. It reduces. Before I use this machine, I used to wear my PPE, which is personal protective equipment. It is very important because there is dangerous according to before when we are using it. Thank you.
Thank you.
So this machine is necessary for them to learn faster and produce faster and increase production. So it's not only for them to be able to use the machine, but also to increase their yield and their productivity so that the young people, as from the school that they are already studying, they understand the importance of agriculture. Different schools that the machines will be working. We hope that this very tiny contribution through this partnership with the MasterCard Foundation will eventually allow us to improve both the knowledge and the access to agriculture for the younger ones. And I'm looking forward to the time I will come and collect my own vegetable. Isn't it? Isn't it? So, please, oh, the work has just begun. Well done. Assalamu alaikum.
Good morning, all. Is this morning?
Them that you tell them that they should take a.
They already have this.
Okay, let me.
can keep it here. Then this one can be working anywhere.
Okay. What?
Because this particular one is seasoned. It's seasoned. The way you guys are moving around.
Which one is not seasoned?
See this speaker.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. I will still come to the community to pay my respect and also to see how the machines are being applied and used in the community. But allow me to really say thank you for the support and everything you are showing us. We are nothing without you. We cannot do anything. This youth, our field cannot produce if you don't give us your blessing. So we need your blessing, we need your support, and we need you to be able to make the progress we need to make. Thank you very much. Yes. Thank you.
I just have a question.
Yes, sir.
For how many this machine use so that it will last long?
How many hectares?
1 hectare or 2 hectare or how?
This is how many hectares?
I can plant.
This one is for the younger ones. No. I'm saying it's just small
Crops.
Mm.
That's what I mean, like it serves for all different types of seeds. You see, they are different sizes. If this one is for maize, you can get another one for groundnut, you can get another one for rice, and you can get another one. So it is a multi-purpose for all the different crops. The advantage of it is one fertilizer in case if you want to apply same time. Thank you for this highlighting. We are very good. Adam.
Good morning, everyone. All protocols duly observed. I hope you are enjoying our conference. So I'm here to give you the updates on our IUT e-learning platform. If I'll be quoting what our, those who came earlier onto the stage actually said. Someone said, and I quote, "The lockdown doesn't lock down our brains. It doesn't lock down our ability to access knowledge." When the executive manager for the IUT project came on board here, she said, "We will continue working. We will work tirelessly until we can make sure that agribusiness is available and agribusiness knowledge is available to all and sundry, irrespective of the time, the place, the device, or the situation of the country at that time." And that is why we have our e-learning platform. A platform through which youths can actually access knowledge anytime, any day. It's no doubt that TED Fund required that most of the universities start up an e-learning platform too. It's an initiative which is actually being driven by that intuition, that drive to make sure that agribusiness and courses and agri-tech related courses, which are premium, are actually delivered to students at no cost. How would you like to learn e-commerce for free? How would you like to learn mobile app development for free? How would you like to learn about agribusiness management for free? How would you like to understand how to increase your return on investment just using your mobile phone? And with this kind of platform, we are actually giving you this kind of courses, premium courses, at no charge, and at the end of the day, you can improve your business. Without much ado, and without much talk, I want us to actually embrace what the e-learning platform can do. And if you have your mobile phone here, you can just visit our website, where you can see the to register button, iita.org/e-learning. You can check out our courses, and you can take advantage of any course there. More so, we partner with schools, institutes, organizations, universities to bring you state-of-the-art courses, courses that are not available on the ordinary. They are not available in the market. So that at the end of the day, we are not just producing people who have learned. We are producing people who have learned. They can practice what they've learned. And just in case they need any correction, just in case they need any revision, they actually have a platform they can go to, get this revision done, without even having to see the four walls of a classroom. With our e-learning, we are bringing you knowledge anytime, anywhere, with any device. And we implore you all to take advantage of that. Thank you so much.
Hello. So I will make welcome my colleague from STEP to come up. Let's take a brief experience sharing from the STEP team. So please, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Ms. Bola, Mr. Aziz, and Mr. Nathaniel, Mr. Paul, all that will work together to get this done. Please celebrate the young lady. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Zach. Good afternoon, everyone, and we're so glad to be here. So we just straight to the point. We're talking about STEP experience, and here with me I have different people that have been beneficiaries of the STEP program. The representative of the community leader, the King of Bomo, that's in the person of Mr. King Mukhtar Saliu. Please, a round of applause. I also have a parent in the person of Malam Hussein, a trainer on mechanization engineer Godwin Kalu, and a student Zainab A. Yusuf. Also representing the teachers is Mr. Mohammed Abdullahi, who is working on stage right now. So that everyone can benefit from this little session, we'll be having an interpretation from my colleague here. So I'll be asking the community leader the changes in the community since the intervention of STEP.
Kamar yadda ta yi jawabi, mutanen da kuke gani anan za a tattauna ne akan yanayin samun aiki a Najeriya da kalubale da suke cikinsa. So kamar yadda aka akwai daga nan hannun dama akwai wakilin malamai, sannan kuma akwai mechanization specialist, sai kuma akwai community leader wato shugaban sarkin Bomo, sai kuma Malam Muhammad da kuma ɗaliba wacce take wakiltar ɗalibai Zainab A. Yusuf.
Thank you. So the community leader will be asked a question now. He wants to tell us his own experience in his own words, the changes in the community since STEP's intervention.
Za a fara ne da tambayar shi sarkin Bomo, canjin da aka samu a garin Bomo sakamakon wannan shiri da aka gabatar musu da shi.
This program is good program to my community. I am Mukhtar Salu Sarkin Bomo. I come from Sabangari local government, from Bomo ward. This program is good because of I have more challenges of this orientation or workshop or training to this IITA to give my community. I have 70 students to start this program, but the winner is 10 students. The winner is 10 students. I come with the student here now. After that, the student is work harder. Only training to give the student is 2 days. You give the student training is 2 days. Then you catch many things for this new machine, new products, and go to farm and do it very well in practical. I saw good if this program will continue for this, many students in Bomo or many students in under Sabangari local government, she catch many things in under agriculture. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. We'll be asking the parents in person of Mr. Malam Hussein to tell us the noticeable effect of steps in children's engagement in the project. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. All protocols duly observed. Alhamdulillah, STEP actually gingered and helped our students to like and embrace agriculture. Because of what they have seen is a clear issue, and they were able to grab so many things. Let me tell you, before, as it has been said, most of the youths are running away from agriculture, and which is very bad. But with the coming of IITA and the STEP program, many of the students embrace agriculture and like agriculture more. And this is one of the benefits we were able to get from it. Because if you sit your student tell him that go into agriculture, go and read agricultural studies, he will tell you that one is not lucrative. But now he believes that it is very, very much lucrative. Also, the program STEP shows our students how to make it for themselves. That is how to get or to earn more from the program, from the agriculture itself. I want to thank the tutor that made it possible and try as much as possible to do his best in imparting the knowledge, because some do understand English, some do not, but in fact, he was able to impart that knowledge into them. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We'll be moving straight forward to the teacher in the person of Mr. Mohamed Abdullahi. Please, let's have your take on the difference between the current agricultural teaching methods and STEP teaching methods. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Praise be to Almighty God, the Lord of the universe. In fact, honestly, I can say the positive and prominent impact of STEP that the STEP have brought to us can never be overemphasized, but I can only mention a few. One of the prominent impacts that the STEP has brought to us, if not totally, but drastically, is that it has changed the negative impressions, that is social and psychological impression towards farming. Secondly, STEP also exposes us to positive benefit of setting up and starting agri-business. Third, STEP also puts indelible mark in our memory. That is the technicality and procedure involved in innovative agricultural business. Fourth, STEP through innovative and technology teaches us about safety, management, and simple method of handle machine in our farms. Last but not the least, STEP also creates a kind of meaningful rapport and conducive atmosphere that is a special room for exchange of ideas, knowledge, and experience acquired throughout the STEP program. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for your contribution. So next will be the trainer on mechanization in the person of Engineer Godwin Kalu, who will be telling us about the visible effects of the introduction of small-scale machines to the young youths. Please have your seat, sir.
Good morning, everyone. All protocols duly observed. I must say I recommend IITA because every one of us knows the security challenge. Most of our kids are at home, but they were able to find one or two ways to make sure we engage these youth. And to those of us that actually participated, I know we're all grateful to IITA. You know now what mechanization is, then what maintenance is, how we do our maintenance, the types of maintenance, what PPA is, then the safety. In fact, youth normally think farming is a thing of the old, but now they have a different view or perspective on the farming system. You know, in most captions, you will see old men with hoe on their shoulder. It's not like that now. Youth are willing to go into farming today. So thank you very much to IITA and our parents that were able to trust us by releasing their children to participate in this program. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for also helping us train the students. Next is the student, Zainab A. Yusuf, who will be telling us a personal STEP experience. Have your seat, Zainab. Have your seat.
Good day to you all. My parents and my fellow students, good day to you all. My name is Zainab A. Yusuf, a student from Government Secondary School, Bomo, standing here to give you a very deep explanation on STEP. STEP means Start Early Program. And Start Early Program is a program that assists young farmers to bring more implement, more than to traditional methods. And I myself benefit from this STEP because they bring implement that save life and they reduce drudgery. I'm advising you, my fellow lovely everyone, to get back to this modern implement because this implement replaces the RIJA because RIJA will give you drudgery, but this implement will save time for you. Thank you for good listening.
Thank you so much, Zainab, for your very detailed experience sharing. So I'll be giving the mic to my colleague, Mr. Ibrahim, to explain in Hausa what we've learned from our people.
Kamar yadda muka ji daga mai jawabi na farko wato mai girma sarkin Bomo ya yi bayani akan amfanin da garin Bomo ta hanyoyin da garin Bomo ya amfana da wannan shiri na STEP. Ma'anar STEP shine start them early, shine a fara shirya yara tun suna kafin su girma su shiga harkar noma. So ya yi bayani cewa yara da yawa sun amfana a cikin garin Zomo wajen guda 70. A cikin mutum 70 din nan mutum 10 ne suka samu nasarar zuwa wannan guri domin su halarci wannan taro. Kuma ya yaba da kokarin da yara suka yi saboda duba da yanayin lokacin da aka ba su kwanaki kwaya 2 amma suka dage suka shiga gona suka koyi dukkan yadda za su yi amfani da waɗannan kayayyakin noma wanda aka ba su a waje. Sai kuma mutum na biyu ya ce wannan shiri na STEP ya canza tunani mara kyau a gurin mutane akan harkar noma. Sannan kuma wannan shiri na step ya sa mutane sun kalli harkokin noma a ɓangare mai kyau, sun kalli alfanunsa. Sannan kuma ya ƙara da cewa akwai sabbin dabaru kamar dabarun noma da suka amfana da shi. Sannan kuma ya yi bayani akan sauƙi da kuma kariya na yadda za a riƙe wayannan mashina da aka yi amfani da su, injina da aka yi amfani da su na harkar noma. Sannan kuma shi wanda ya koyar da wannan yara ya yabawa wannan shiri, ya yabawa IITA da ta kawo wannan shiri, duba da yanayin da ƙasa take ciki na rashin tsaro, kuma yara suna gida amma duk da haka suka samu hanyoyin da za su yi domin su tallafawa ɗalibai a makarantun sakandare. Ita kuma ɗaliba kenan a ƙarshe take cewa ta yi bayani akan shi menene ma ake nufi da step ɗin kamar yadda na faɗa a baya. Sannan kuma ta yi kira ga cewa duka waɗanda suke cikin wannan shiri su dinga amfani da kayayyakin noma na zamani, ma'ana dai su daina amfani da fatanya da sauransu wajen yin harkokin gona, su fara amfani da su tractor da sauransu na zamani domin samun sauki. Wannan shine takaitaccen abubuwan da aka tattauna.
Thank you very much. On behalf of STEP in the iYouth project, we'd like to say thank you so much, my participants in this session, for sharing your experience and your STEP experience with us. And to the audience, thank you for your time. And let's keep promoting these young ones to see agriculture not as a punishment or a dirty job, but as a profitable venture for everyone. Thank you so much. So we'll have a group photograph now.
So just have a group photograph on the stage. Yeah. Thank you. We are going forward to the next agenda. But please, could you help me clap your hands for this wonderful team as they go back to their seats? We'll be having a panel discussion on a very important subject. We want to see the question on the employability of the Nigerian graduate youth. A discussion surrounding the facts, the challenges, as well as the solutions. We have a very powerful team that will dissect this issue. And permit me to welcome that team up to the podium. The first person in that team is Dr. Anthony Job, who works with ValueSeed as their head of technical team. Please, could you put your hands together for Dr. Anthony Job? Next on that panel is Dr. Fatima Yisa. Dr. Fatima Yisa is a senior lecturer in Ahmadu Bello University and also a consultant with IFAD and also a capacity development expert. Can you put your hands together for her as she comes up to the high table? I call it high table, to the panel. I want to use this opportunity to welcome Engineer Oliver Uchechukwu Eze, who is the principal partner, Nectar Role Consulting. This is a professional that has spearheaded the course of capacity development for both private and government parastatal in Nigeria. Please celebrate Mr. Oliver Uchechukwu Eze. Next on this panel is a very important personality in the person of Mr. Segun J. Lawal, heading Wisdom Scroll. Put your hands together for Mr. Segun L. J. Lawal as he come up. He is a professional in the arm of capacity development, as well in recruitment, and as well a consultant. To put the icing on this panel team, With a resounding applause, I want you to make welcome Professor Johnson Onyibe from the NERLS. Is a specialist policy consultant. He's also an entrepreneur. He's a father. He's a scientist, one who has traveled both in Nigeria and outside. We are glad to have him today to share experiences with us. So with a resounding applause, make welcome Professor Johnson Onyibe as he comes up. Now, to moderate this very sensitive panel is our own very assistant training coordinator for the iYouth Project Nigeria, in the person of Ms. Akpanika Sheyi. Put your hands together for Ms. Akpanika Sheyi as she comes up to do justice with this great panel. Put your hands together before she gets afraid and go back. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Zacchaeus. Thanks, everyone, for the panelists. I think Zacchaeus has very well introduced all of us, so without wasting any more time, we'll just go ahead to the panel session. So the panel session for today, our topic for discussion is the question on the employability of the Nigerian youth, facts, challenges, and solutions. So I have a couple of key questions that I'm going to ask, and I would like for us to go around to all the panelists and for them to give us, their thoughts concerning each of these questions. So first on the question is, what exactly is the youth employment status in Nigeria now? So I'm going to start with Dr. Anthony Job for him to start, and then we'll go around and give our responses. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Yes, the question, well, it's a known fact that there are serious unemployment issues. Estimates put that at about 30%. Of course, depending, this issue of unemployment has to do with, it's not just about looking at the formal sector, like those typical, like graduates, for instance. It also has to do with even those that are not so skilled, so to speak. There's obviously a big divide, there's a big gap, and that's why programs like this, the government has tried a lot to try to, address this issue. There have been different programs in the past trying to reduce that gap, so to speak. So it's glaring in society. Most people, when you find out that there are so many dependents on those few that are employed. So I think this is quite glaring that the average youth is not only unemployed, but even underemployed, because many people have to make do with what they have. Many times it's not based on you picking what is your choice, or a job of your choice, or what you were trained for, but sometimes it's just based on you just want to survive, and these are areas in which there is still a lot of work to be done in terms of improvement, and because the youth, if the youth in the society are not gainfully employed, that also poses a lot of risks even to the development of a society at large. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Anthony. So I think we'll hear next from Dr. Fatima.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. There is a well-known fact that labor force participation of youth is on the decline. We have about 40% unemployed youth. And when we are looking at youth, we are looking at individuals within the age bracket of 15 to 35. It is a very big issue because I look at, the agribusiness industry. what are even what are the kind of skills required for the youth to be employable? Most of these are lacking. There are some challenges under participation of youth as a result of their experiences and their skills. So going forward in the dialogue, I think we should be looking more on what exactly are the skills that the labor force agribusiness sectors are interested in. Even though we know that most of our youths run away from agriculture, nobody wants to get his hand dirty. They want a white-collar job. But I believe their skills and knowledge and experience will change that. That's just a few points to say for now.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Just to be sure that I'm on track, Shay, what's your question again? The state of unemployment, right? Okay, so that question is very simple, because if you look at the statistics from NBS, Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, it places unemployment, youth unemployment in Nigeria, somewhere like what my former colleagues said, between 30 to 40%. I'm not sure if that statistics captures those that are underemployed. Okay, so when we talk about those that are underemployed, you see people who has the capacity to do more than what their current job is, tasking them to do. And therefore, they also earn far below what they are supposed to earn. I mean, those kind of people should be considered to be unemployed. So they fall within the buckets of unemployment. I'm sure as we go on, we will look at the issues around employability and all that. But to simply respond to your question, the state of unemployment in Nigeria is at an all-level, is in an embarrassing state. And that is probably what is spiraling into insecurity and all that. So there's serious unemployment in Nigeria, and it is indeed a big problem. Thank you.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Talking about the question asked, there is actually a very wide gap. Let me deal specifically on the practicality of what we have that is obtainable within the economic space. You agree with me that as of today, most multinationals, big government agencies, you don't even see their adverts. But is it that they are not hiring people? Of course they are. But some of these things are done internally. But the major area now is the private sector. People are investing into various businesses. They want to hire people. So the challenge now is what the Nigerian graduate takes out from school, how marketable it is going into these private firms. So this sets a very wide gap. And imagine, the businessman looks for some skills. The young graduate does not have that experience. And that is why an initiative like this is doing well to ensure that the Nigerian youth are given the right information aside the academics. So you discover that most growing developed economies, they are based on the skill set of their citizens and not what is inside the books ordinarily. So the application of knowledge, the practicality of productivity in terms of transforming knowledge to productivity. So these are the gap areas we have in the hiring space, in human resource management. So the challenge now is, who do I want to hire? Do I have those skills available at a cheaper rate? I think that sets the ball rolling for some of the challenges we have. Thank you.
Okay, youth unemployment, my colleagues have
giving all the statistics in terms of what is the level, the rate of unemployment for youth. Previously, they said 40%. Currently, 53.8% is the statistics. Why is the youth unemployment rising? Let's take Kaduna State and maybe Kaduna State as a typical example. 15 years to 20 years ago, we have about 58,000 thriving businesses, companies in Kano employing. And 2 years ago, when the statistics survey was conducted, we just have about 6,000. We have lost 50,000 of those companies that are employing in Kano. Where will the youth be engaged? This is what is causing it. Now, the other component is the government, the state government, and the federal government suddenly became heavy employer of labor in recent times. But in many instances, those that are employed do not have the tools to work. The money is just not there in public institutions for them to work. And so that leaves us with the private sector. Now, in the private sector, I'm sure you are aware that there have been considerable dynamics within the private space. The businesses, some of them have to relocate, some of them have to change their portfolios. And this has to do with the kind of employment that they offer to the masses, the kind of skill that they require from those who are seeking to work with them. Now, some of these enterprises have changed their product line in order to survive within the market space. Now, this also means that those who are teaching the students, who are producing the students to fit into the industry, need to change as well. Unfortunately, we have not changed as rapidly as the market space has changed. And so the skills, those who are coming out from the universities and the polytechnics and the colleges of education, the skills that they come out with should have changed in line with the changes in the market space. This hasn't happened. And this is part of the reasons some of the private sector or employers have had to screen. They are spending a lot more money to screen and to select who will work in those establishments. Now, but there's something that is happening. It also, even though there is a big problem of finding employment, it also offers us new opportunities. It means that those who are going to school and coming out of school, they have to apply themselves to learn new skills. They also need to apply themselves to network and partner. Because if you do not have the skill in A, and you have a friend that has the skill in A and you have skill in B, you can work together, to deliver products to the market. And I'm so happy that this particular project has elected to build the capacity of our youths to learn new skills. You can be sure that in a single class, no matter how you teach in that class, there will be those who will excel in that particular topic, and those who may not. And yet, in another class, there will be those who will excel and probably did not excel in the first one. And so this is the reason why the platform that this project offers you to partner, to share experiences is very critical. And I want to enjoin you to please take it very seriously. Because if you don't have, look among you. There'll be somebody who has the skill to work, to partner with you. And there will also be somebody who is looking for the product that you have that can partner with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone, for all the contributions. I hope that all the young people are listening to all of these discussions. So taking us forward, I know in each of our comments, we've actually mentioned some of these challenges. So moving forward, I would like to ask that what are the challenges that we see on the level of the government, the private sector, and even the young people? And what, solutions would you prefer to these challenges in order to be able to move forward? Because at the end of the day, we always say, oh, the government needs to, provide more employment and all of that. But I think everybody has a role to play. So in terms of the government, the private sector, and even the young people ourselves, what are the challenges that we're facing? And what do you prefer to be the solutions? What do we need to do in order to be able to help our situation?
Okay, so when we talk about the challenges with respect to unemployment, let me start with the government. I want to say, and I know that we all know, that the government cannot employ everybody. That is one fact we should appreciate, we should come in terms with. By the time we realize that the government has only a limit to what they can do with respect to unemployment, then it will prepare our minds to look for other options, for other avenues to get our youth, to get ourselves productively engaged. Yeah, the government has done their part, and they are still doing, and that is why you see that governments at various times try to come up with various initiatives. You win, Shopee, End Power, and things like that. All these things are bridge gap project interventions to address unemployment. But be that as it may, it cannot address it holistically. Now, moving to the private sector. The private sector is doing greatly in trying to take off our youth from the streets. But then, the reason why private sector also have a limit to what they can do is boiling down to the third question, which is what is the challenges on the part of the youth. For over 15 years, me and this my friend here have been doing series of recruitments, mainly for private sector. And we come across a whole lot of things. We come across people who want to work just for the sake of working. I've actually met someone in the interview that said, "Sir, please, I need this job. Please employ me." Okay, now, so what that plea is suggesting to me is that this young man is looking for work just to get work and be earning money. Not necessarily because he has anything to bring to the table, not because he has a value he wants to add to the company, and things like that. I have also seen people during the interview that wait for me outside and say, "Oga, if you give me this work, I'm going to give you my first salary." And all of this points to the fact that some people are looking for work just for the sake of work. That's one part. Another part is the unemployability of those that want to work. For crying out loud, unemployment is when there is no work for those who are willing to work and who are capable to work. So two things involved, the willingness and then the capacity. A lot of applicants do not have the capacity. People go to school, get their first degree, some even get their second degrees, and then they think because they have that paper, the certificate, it's a guarantee to get them hooked up somewhere. And I want to say here, since our youths are here listening, that your certificate from the university, from any educational institution, is not enough to qualify you to be employed. There are a lot of certifications out there that actually add values to you. There are a lot of upskilling opportunities that if you acquire some of these skills, you dictate the terms of your employment. I have done interviews where people tell me that, "Look, sir, if you cannot pay me XYZ, don't even bother calling me." That is confidence, because this person knows his or her onions. The person knows what is bringing to the table. Today, as an applicant, as someone who wants to get employed, it sounds odd to hear that I am not computer literate. Somebody have told me on an interview session that, "Sir, I didn't read computer science now. They did not teach us computer in the university." Hello? And I begin to wonder if this kind of person is actually listening to him or herself. You have gone to university or to polytechnic to acquire the basic knowledge that should be able to launch you into another state of your life, right? So if you don't have some certain skills, you are unemployable, and you will just be unfairly contributing to the unemployment statistics that try to indict government and all that. So I think majority of the challenges, many times in my own view, based on my experience, actually lies with those that want to be employed, right? If you develop yourself very well, there is no gain saying that there is certainly a job somewhere waiting for you. Thank you.
Okay, So to add to what my colleague said, I'm going to say a few things. Firstly, let me say a word to young people out there. I'm also a young guy, okay? We should have a paradigm shift from job to work. Job hands you money. Work hands you a career. Many of us don't have a defined career path. And that is why you are floating. Job hands you money. Many of us, we are not the worth of what we are earning. We are only subjecting ourselves to money. If you are actually defined, evaluated your potentials, you would have discovered your value and your worth. So that's the general advice. Now, to the government, I think the government has a lot of programs, but implementation, enforcement, and evaluation has been a whole lot of challenge in this part of the world. How we implement these programs, we just change programs maybe in a short span of time. We don't tend to do strategic management of implementation. And secondly, looking at IT programs, that's industrial training, that is one of the areas we get it wrong. If you look at professions like, and that's why they still stand tall, medicine, law, and some other professions. You cannot be a doctor and you don't have any experience in the theater, or there's some basic knowledge you will have. But you will see somebody who graduates as a business admin graduate and does not have any idea of what a business plan is. He cannot sit down from his head and evaluate a business plan. And he will tell you he's a graduate, and he'll tell you he wrote a project. So most of the IT period, people don't do the IT where they can gain knowledge. They just go for IT. This organization will pay me more. That is one area of the challenge. Then the area of guidance and counseling has fostered a lot of challenge. It's almost out of our system. And people don't even understand. A lot of people don't even know what to do with their lives. I've met people at interviews. They have what they are doing. Why are you here? They'll tell you, I need a better job. But what you are doing, see this opportunity. They will now like, wow, stop looking for a job. Continue what you are doing. And many of them have thanked us. So the area of counseling, especially for young people, I don't know if we saw a news on STV last week that a young guy committed suicide for a hike in school fees. If that guy was well informed, if somebody has talked to him, he wouldn't have lost hope. So there's a lot of hopelessness because there are no counsels. Government should ensure now when the elderly ones, when they retire, they just go back. Many start earning pensions. Many start having diabetes. These people are supposed to counsel. There is still more there's a giving back to the society. I met a director at NDIC and I said, sir, you need to create a platform to guide and counsel young people. You know so much. So after your service here, after your period of service, what are you going to do with your knowledge? There are a lot of professors who are just sitting down, writing books, sending abroad. And they have children in their areas who are not tapping from this wealth of experience and knowledge. You see a graduate who doesn't understand the difference between a memo and a formal letter, because he has never had the privilege to write such. So those gaps areas should be attended to within our system. And in the private sector, we can create internship programs. Let me tell every entrepreneur here, you don't need to pay huge salary to have people that can work for you. If you create an internship program, people will come to learn. It's going to be a mutual benefit thing. They are learning, you are gaining value, and then at that point, you have added value to the society, and someone is going home with some kind of basic knowledge. You don't need to pay much for an internship program. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. I think the issue of challenges, the youth, maybe not only the youth, even the adults face a lot of challenge when it comes to the issue of work, business and so on. The first that I'd like to share with you is idea crisis. Ask a youth, ask him, any of them, what do you want to do? They probably have about 3, 4, even 10 things they want to do. So the decision as to what they want to do and focus on what they can do is often a big problem. And any one of those 10, if they were to decide to follow one, just one, and pursue it fervently, they will succeed at it. My father told me, growing up as a child, and actually I started making money when I was 4 years old. I don't know how much money I've made now, but I wish I'm not in the university. Maybe I'll make a lot more money. You know, he said, every single thing on the face of this earth has made somebody stinkingly rich or popular. Every single thing has made somebody stinkingly rich. And he went further to give examples. Somebody who was actually disposing waste, how he became multimillionaire in Lagos. And somebody who was selling white sand, and how he became multimillionaire in Benin. Another person selling red sand, and he became multimillionaire. And yet another was selling the waste from the oil palm process, the crude, and he became multimillionaire. And he gave those examples. Those who are selling firewood, I don't know if you have ever bothered to go to where they are selling firewood, whether in Samaru or somewhere in Kaduna and so on. Ask them. Imagine that you are the one. All kinds of innovations you can bring into selling just firewood. So I want to say that the first challenge that is before the youth is idea crisis. What we work for that youth is often the challenge. How can we mentor them to be able to look at the myriad of issues, opportunities, possibilities that are before them so that they can settle down with one? This is often the problem. If you ask them to come up with a proposal, they will come with a proposal. While they are discussing the proposal with you, another person that has come up with another proposal discussing it with you, they'll be wishing that the other proposal should have been their own. And this is the problem. How do you get them to have that staying consistency on one issue to pursue it? Initially, you may not make success with it, but surely after some time, you will learn how to walk the road and then make success. I share this experience. We tried to start a business many years ago. The first 7 months, when we opened that business, nobody came to ask us what we were doing. The next 3 months, actually 2.5 months, my younger brother was there trying to manage it, and he was getting really frustrated, and he said he wasn't going to continue. And I said, no, just hold on, another 1 or 2 months, I think it's going to work. And because I wasn't sure how we were going to make him get convinced that it was going to work, and so we decided to get money, our own money, and use third-party proxies to be buying from ourselves. So for the next 3 months or so, we were buying our own goods with our own money, just to convince our brother that the business was going to work. And I can tell you, eventually the business started to work. He went to school, he has a master's degree, and he's one of the managers there. I actually have many of the ones who have master's degree, they never work for anybody, and they work in the business. And that is the business for 7 months. Nobody was asking what we're carrying. So when I talk about idea crisis and having a staying consistent power, interest in that business to pursue it, looking for how it could work. Is there anywhere where it is written in the book that if you have wares to sell and nobody is buying, you should buy for yourself? You know there's none. So these ideas can come from anywhere. You can develop these ideas. So long as you are willing and you believe in it and you believe that it can work, you will make it work. So you have to have the tenacity, the temerity to actually remain focused on that business and make a success of it. You have to have that determination. Now, the other challenge that many youths often think they have is that of finance. They often take the concept that if I have money, I can do anything. That's not true. If you have so much money, the more money you have, the more you're likely going to waste. That's the truth about it. Until you really learn how to become efficient in the business, you will waste a lot of money. I remember my father-in-law telling me the first time I told him that we bought the first plot when I was in the university. I got bursary and decided to buy plot. And then somewhere along the line, we lost it. And he said, that is misinvestment. I never forget that statement, misinvestment. If you have so much money at the beginning, you will conduct a lot of misinvestment. You will waste the money. So money is not often the first thing for the young entrepreneur, a body entrepreneur, somebody designed to be an entrepreneur or to be a business person. It's not money first. The first thing I say, the first thing is your idea. What idea do you have? What product do you have? You need to develop it. My colleague talked about that if you go for an interview, you are asking them that you want a job. Why do you want a job? Do you have something you are offering the enterprise? What can make the enterprise better? They will give you money so that you will be better. What are you giving the enterprise so that the enterprise will also be better? You need to think about some of those things. And I believe that the putting forward the problem that I don't have money as the problem of the youths or the problem that will prevent you from succeeding is not correct. Please check it again. The first thing to deal with is your idea. You have a product, you have an idea. And remember, I started by saying idea crisis. There are some people who have ideas. When they see the next one, they think that they should really have it. And they see the next one, they think they should really have it. And I'm sure ladies who are here, they understand what I'm talking about when it comes to fashion. A lady will be dressed and be looking so exceptionally beautiful. As soon as she sees another beautiful lady, she'll be thinking maybe that's the dress I should have worn. One. I mean, that's what I'm trying to talk about when it comes to ideas among the youth. So I advise you, please, of all those ideas, if you can do prioritization, okay. If you cannot do, but just close your eyes and pick one, and then follow it. You will succeed with it. Now, the other challenge that is before the youth and those who want to get into business is that the market is not static. It's always changing. If you say you want to make bread and you don't get about making the bread quickly to offer the customers, you might be surprised that a lot more people will be there thinking about the same bread and making it, and so you may not be able to compete. So if you think about an idea and you have done a little research about it, move immediately. As they say in business school, I went to one of the business schools here in Zaria anyway, the Congo Business School. And they taught us in that place. I'm an agronomist, by the way, but don't bother about my multiple trainings. Yeah. They taught us that there is nothing like a good and bad decision in the business. What makes it good is as a result of what is happening in the market. What makes it bad is also as a result of what is happening in the market. And so the youth, if you have a product to put into the market, you need to move fast to put it into the market quickly. Why? Because two things changes almost simultaneously. Technology is changing. I don't know how many of you are using the handset that you used 10 years ago. The market is also changing. If you get into the market, you see the products they keep coming in. Even microphone, the kind of microphone we are using today, are very different from microphones we used many years ago. I remember the first time I came to this hall, the microphone they gave me to talk, it was a dinner. There was a long rope that was following it. And today we can talk without that rope. And that's what I'm talking about. And so when you want to get into a business, remember that the technology is changing and you need to act fast. And you also need to keep track of the changes in the trend, whether it's in technology or within the marketplace. There are so many things to talk about, but I hope you have learned a few things from the experiences that we have gained and shared with you now. And I'll be available just in case. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I just want to add to what my colleagues have said. They have actually touched like 90% of challenges and solutions. I want to look at the direction of the youth itself. What is their capacity? Do they even have the required knowledge? Going back to school, are they being trained on the basic knowledge in running agribusiness? I know there are a lot of courses that people take, especially for the agricultural graduates. They take a lot of courses, but one thing I know that most people, students in particular, they are only interested in the grades. They don't want to fail. But they don't even understand the aspect. They only read to pass. That is what most people do. Even looking, I have looked at the statistics of the youth training we did that lasted for 6 weeks. most of them don't even have the knowledge of what is expected of them. And one way or the other, we are being taught in our university days of some of those things, even though we know that, like we talked about business plan preparation, which in 500 level, postgraduates, they offer it in agric department. But if you have interest in a particular field, I think you can always try and look outside the box, try and be initiative, try and be innovative, try and bring up things, because those are some of the qualities required in you being employed in any organization. Because people want to know how far you can, what you can contribute, what you can add, the value you can add to their organization. But most times, I think they lack that capacity to do that, that knowledge. The knowledge is not there. So in providing solution to this, I think there should be like a training colleges, even though we have very few, to train people on some skills that will make them marketable in the labor force. Skills like how to, in terms of decision-making, management, motivation, leadership, they need to be trained on that, which Youth Agriculture is already doing. And we saw a lot of lapses, a lot of gap, that most of them have not really gotten to that level of, I'm sorry to say, being employed, because they lack the basic skills that is required. So also, we have the issue of drudgery as a challenge. They scare youth away. Most of them want a very short season job that they make money fast. If we're able to bring in mechanized farming, it will go a long way to help. We have just seen a demonstration by Bomo College students on various machines that you can use to reduce drudgery. I think that will go a long way to motivate the youth in terms of agricultural activity. And then this initiative is very, very good. I see every participant as being opportune, because there are 1,001 people out there that would have loved to be part of this initiative. For those of you, you try as much as possible to take from what you have learned so that you can be better than others out there. And we are looking at employment. Employment does not just stop at we have skilled, the employed and self-employed. I'm even looking at a situation where you can also employ. This time around, you are not looking for that employment, because employment is a challenge. So how do you address that? Even if you have the skills, there are 1,001 youth graduates out there that even have the skills, but I think the population of the labor force is quite alarming, that there's no room for employment. So we need to be initiative by embracing agricultural activities, especially value chain activities. Yesterday, some talked about a startup. When one of the speakers was talking, they were all interested in the issue. They were talking about loan. Somebody came with grants, and all the participants were very happy, because most of you you just want to be assisted. You are not ready to initiate, bring up what you can do. So I think to address that again, it's possible most of them are actually ready to be self-employed. They can also employ people, but they have finance is the issue, the major issue here. So I think there can be like startup intervention programs for them. Then training institutes, we have some Then I think also we can also look at the aspect of adding into the courses that they take at secondary school level, the tertiary institution, so that we can incorporate some of these skills required. It's good we catch them very young at primary, like what I saw today. I was highly impressed since you're already introducing them to modern way of farming. And I think their mindset, you need to change, their mindset has to be changed. And the initiative is a very good one, because if they start very young at secondary school level, at least by the time they graduate, they already have an idea of the technology advancement, the kind of things you can do under agriculture. I think there should be like kind of a review in most of our curriculum to look at how we can bring in soft skill into what we are teaching presently. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, just to add one or two things. All the other panelists have said so much, but I think exactly right now we're in a digital age and there's so much information available out there. One thing is that we have to keep improving ourselves, because some of these basic skills, things like even business plans, there's so many things that you can learn online. And I know that the youth of today, especially social media, Facebook, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, all sorts of things like that. There's so much opportunities. Anytime you go online, there are a lot of free courses which you could take. One thing I know is that no knowledge is lost. You don't know where you will find yourself tomorrow. Also, you need to be observant. You need to be able to take advantage of things around you. There's so many problems that have been iterated, and really, you can't just sit down and fold your arms and expect these things to come to you. Yes, a lot needs to be done, even looking at changing the curriculum, because you find out that, looking at from a personal experience, some of the graduates in quote, you find out that they don't have those skills required. Like, for instance, I'm a plant breeder. I take a graduate of agri to the field, and basic things, even how to mark out a field. You have graduates of agronomy that can't even set up a simple experiment. And sometimes you wonder, how did you make it through school? How did you do your project, Of course, all hope is not lost. If you're in a situation which you don't have those skill sets, in quote, you don't have to give up. You keep improving, keep learning. Feel free to approach those that are in a better position. This issue of mentorship, also very important. You know someone that could help you out with something, more experienced, better in industry, be it one of your lecturers, always feel free to approach. It gets to a point when sometimes you feel you're too big to learn a few things, but a former boss of mine told me that when he was on his master's studies somewhere in Brazil, he said many times his professor would tell him to learn from the farmer. He was working on tomatoes and some other vegetables like that, and anytime he goes to the field to visit the farmers, his professor will tell him to be taking notes. Taking notes from the village farmer, yes, but they have a lot of experience. Now, when you take those notes, you sit down and look at how you can refine that. The opportunities are there, but sometimes the environment can be so depressing. You need to search inwards. You need to look at where you will be relevant, where you can make some impact. Professor Ibe said it's not just, you say you want to sell bread and you want to wait. Competition is there. Even if you want to sell your bread should be different, and your bread should be targeted at a specific market where you know you're going to get value for what you are doing. So I think I'll stop at that. Thank you.
I don't think that clap is deserving for all of the information that we'll be receiving from the panelists. So thank you very much, everyone. So I think I'll just speak about a few things I've been able to take out of this. So for those of us that were not necessarily listening, you can take these few things that I've been able to grab and I'll just put to us. So there are a lot of challenges when it comes to unemployment, but then every one of us has a part to play. So whether it's the government, whether it's the private sector, whether it's even the adults like Prof said, everybody has a part to play, and most of it is even lies on us, the youth. So for the government, the projects that are already running, we need to better implement, have follow-ups, and ensure that we actually get outputs and not just doing projects just for the sake of it. For the private sector, what Iita is doing in partnership with MasterCard is just a drop in the ocean. Most of these projects have lifespan, but we expect that during the time when the project is being implemented, the government taps into some of these initiatives so that even at the lifespan of the project is something that is still sustainable and still happens at whatever little level. There's no level of impact that is too small because it always has a multiplier effect. And on the part of the youth, we have a lot to do. You know, we complain about unemployment from school even. You need to know what you want to do. If you need any guidance, it's advised that you have a mentor. We definitely have one or two people that we look up to, that we like what they are doing. You can have discussions with those people, you know, and they can guide you. I will try to even use this platform to still reach out to, you know, our senior colleagues who can be mentors and coaches to some of these youth. We've already stated here that part of the problem is that they don't have a sense of direction per se. So we definitely need that level of, you know, partnerships to be able to get this, to get us to where we need to be. Also, we have access to information. It's the technology age, online platforms. You can learn a lot. Peter spoke earlier about our e-learning platform. You're not paying for anything. We're going to have free courses there. So even beyond this training, no matter how long you do a training for, there's always more knowledge to gain. So on our own, it's important that we take our time to develop ourselves. Let's add value to ourselves so that we have what to give. There's nobody who has something to give, and other companies or organizations don't want parts of that. But then when you look for a job, you need to ask yourself that, why am I going here? What am I going to make difference? If I stay here in 1 year, what will be the impact of my presence here? So it's not only about money. Yes, money is important, but then we need to be able to know what value we are adding. Once you have value to add, trust me, people will look for you. I'm not saying it's going to be in a minute or 2 or 1 year, but make sure you keep developing yourself and value. People will see that value that you're offering and opportunities will come to you. So I would still like to use this platform to say a very big thank you to our panelists. You know, and I hope all of us have been able to listen very intensely and take a lot from these discussions in order to be able to move forward and help ourselves. Also, to add to what I've already said, as much as we're looking for employment, there are still companies who do what we're interested, who do things that we're interested in. You can volunteer. If, for example, university, you feel that, oh, it's mostly theoretical and you didn't get the practical knowledge, what companies around you can you find that even after university, you can go there? Tell them you want to volunteer and add value. When you even do that, if they see enough value in you, they even retain you that, oh, we don't want to let this person go, and they keep you. But you can't just stay at home and then you expect that somebody will find you. You can imagine the statistics that's, you know, going on, and this is only increasing, you know, as the years go by. So there's only so much the government can do. There's only so much the private sector can do. But we, the youth ourselves, let's also put ourselves in a position where we can take advantage of opportunities. So thank you very much, everyone. Yeah, so I think we'll just have the group photograph, and then I'll leave Zacchaeus to continue. Thank you.
Attention, I bet you will learn 1 or 2 things from what we shall be doing this afternoon. We will be very brief about that. Thank you. So, a corporate organization has approached Nectarol Consulting to fill up some existing vacancies. And in order to fill these vacancies, we have sent out job adverts. In response to our adverts, we have got about 15 applications just for one position. So for the applicants, you will listen wherever you are. If you hear your name, you walk up to the stage, take this seat, and get ready for your interview. Thank you. So on our list of the applicants, we have Zainab. Where's Zainab? One of the applicants. Please, can you come up to the stage?
What position would you like us to interview? Any job? What kind of job you can see? Can you do act as a secretary or admin officer? Admin officer, secretary, customer service.
Admin officer or secretary? Which field do you think you can be interviewed in? Position? Huh? Secretary. He said secretary.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, welcome to this interview panel. So we have a candidate here, and we'll be interviewing her for the position of a secretary in a firm. So here at the panel, my name is Mr. Shegun Lawal. This is Mr. Oliver, and this is Ajia Zainab. Okay, so can we meet you? Can we meet you, please?
Yes, I am.
Tell us about yourself.
I am Umar Zainab Ridwan by name.
Just
Can you use the microphone?
tell us about yourself.
Yeah, my name is Umar Zainab Ridwan.
Speak louder so that they can hear you.
My name is Umar Zainab Ridwan. I am hailing from Kaduna State. I had my primary, secondary, and tertiary.
I can't hear you, Zainab. Can you
Just
speak
speak
up so I
louder.
can hear
Speak
you?
louder.
My name is Umar Zainab Ridwan. I hail from Kaduna State. I had my primary, secondary, and tertiary education both from Kaduna State on.
As if we employ you in this company as a secretary, I mean, is it that you cannot speak loud enough to our clients? I am sitting just a few meters away from you and I can't hear you speak. Zainab, convince me why I should employ you in this company.
Well, I think that's the tone of my voice, but I'll try my possible best to speak to your clients properly.
Oh, that is the tone of your voice?
Yes.
And you think you can work here with us?
Yes.
I need more reasons why you think we can engage you for this position.
I'll put in my best to see that your company move forward.
Okay, Aja, do you have any?
Okay. If we employ you as a secretary, what value or benefit does the organization stand to achieve? What value are you bringing to the organization as a secretary? The benefits we stand to achieve for hiring you as the secretary.
Well, for the works of a secretary, I will try my best to do all I can. And also, I will invite my friends and colleagues to.
We can't hear you, please.
Okay, Zainab has said that is the tone of her voice. I would like to thank you for your time, Zainab. It's been good discussing with you. We will get back to you. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, youths. Did any of you hear what Zainab was saying? You did not hear her. And even when I prompted her as an interviewer to speak up, she told me that that is the tone of her voice. What does that depict? If it is your company, will you employ Zainab? You are not kind at all. Okay, so these are common experiences we have interviewing people for job. The first question my colleague asked was, tell me about yourself. What question can be easier than that? If you cannot talk about yourself, how can you talk about IITA? How can you talk about an organization that is planning to employ you? They are employing you as secretary for this organization. You are supposedly going to be the face of the organization. At least you might be the first person that any client will encounter while coming, probably to make inquiries or to do business with an organization. So, what is expected of Zainab? Zainab should have been very smart, should have been very knowledgeable about what the organization does, and be confident. If you are not confident to talk about yourself, why do you think an organization will employ you? So, for the sake of this role play, this is not Zainab's personality, but this is the information that Zainab wants us to talk about to you. If you go for an interview, the interviewer is not a masquerade. The interviewer is not going to shoot you if you make a mistake. He's only trying to have an interaction that will enable him or her assess your capacity. Dr. Fatima asked, what value are you going to bring to the table? If we employ you as the secretary to this organization, what will you do? That is a very good opportunity for you to showcase your skills. You tell the person interviewing you that I'm computer literate, I'm computer competent, I can use computer very well, I have a knowledge of digital marketing, I have done this type of job before, I won an award when I was doing this type of job with XYZ company, I have the capacity to do XYZ, aside the secretarial job, I'm going to get you more clients. Talk. All these questions are avenues for you to market yourself, right? But what did Zainab say? I will do my best. Anyway, this is chapter 1. The next applicant, where's our list? The next applicant is Mr. Paul. Mr. Paul, can you come for your interview? Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. In this interview, we want to employ the vacant position is for, production manager in our firm. Our firm is a producer of fertilizer, and then we are trying to get a production manager to man the administrative affairs of the company, okay? So my name is Mr. Shegun Lawal. Here with me is Mr. Oliver. Mr. Oliver is our MD, and this is our general manager, Mrs. Ajia, Dr. Mrs. Fatima. My name is Mr. Shegun Lawal. So can we meet you?
Okay, thank you very much, sir. My name is Daniel Kalmani Paul, born and bred in Zaria, and I've acquired my degree and master's in sociology. And I have some series of experience in aspect of marketing and of course, and production. And I'm also a researcher and a good public orator. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Paul, it appears to me that you have a lot of experiences.
Yes, sir.
But all these experiences you mentioned, you said you are a researcher in health matters. You had marketing experience in the petroleum industry. Okay, we are looking for a farm manager here. How do you think you bring your experiences to bear in the management of our farm?
Yes, production is a whole process of bringing a particular output into being. And as the production manager, first and foremost, I must ensure that all the needed resources and the manpower required for all this production are in place. And then ensure that the equipment that will be used are in place. Ensure adequate use of those equipment in order to minimize a lot of damages or loss of the raw materials and, of course, the product. So I must ensure that with the experience I have with previous organizations that I work for, I use it and also build on it by ensuring that there is high quality production, looking into the expertise and, of course, experience of the technical staff, and to also ensure there is high level of minimal loss and damages in the course of producing these fertilizers.
Oh, okay. Ajahn.
So how do you take care of your marketing? Marketing is a challenge. So how do you intend to carry out the marketing activities?
Now, you see, this particular product you are talking about, fertilizer, is a product that is used by farmers. Farmers, both crop farmers and animal production. Because dealing with the aspect of the marketing, first and foremost, I must be able to target large market that deal with the sales of fertilizer. Secondly, I should be able to target the market, the farmers directly, because I have my marketing staffs that I will be able to send them to the field to go to various farming communities, advertise our product, educate them about the advantage of using our product, the quality of those products, and of course, even attach some certain incentive when you patronize us. So when I target these large sellers, I should be able to also target the direct farmers and even middlemen that are also into fertilizer business. And like I told you, I should be able to introduce a kind of incentive where even...
Thank you, Mr. Paul. You sound as though you have very good knowledge of this. Thank you for your time. We will get back to you.
Thank you very much, sir.
So that was a very smart one. So I want to say this. Just listen to what I'm reading. Why the average length of an interview is 40 minutes, 33% of 2,000 surveyed bosses indicated that they know within the first 90 seconds if you are the right candidate they will hire. The first 90 seconds is the time to sell yourself. So if you don't say the right thing, so we want to pass a message for you that you will take home with Mr. Oliver. When you are asked, can we meet you? That is the greatest or the biggest ticket you have for yourself. It's like a blank check. You now wrote 5 naira. The president of Nigeria gave you a blank check. Write any amount. You wrote 20 naira. That is what that question carries. Let's assume I'm a girl. Mr. Oliver met me on the street. He doesn't know me before, but I'm tall, beautiful, pretty, looking nice. He's meeting me for the first time. So let's meet each other. We'll now translate it to an interview. Excuse me.
Hello.
Good afternoon. Hello.
How are you doing, young lady?
I'm fine, thank you.
Please, I just have a little inquiry to make. Is this the way to the MD's office?
I wouldn't know. You can check for yourself, please.
Hello. Don't you work here?
I work here.
I'm asking, is this the way to the MD's office?
Okay. Go right, go left. You find your way.
This organization is terrible. Is it how they behave here?
Now, can I meet you? He's telling me, what can I buy from you that can add value to what I'm doing? I don't want to hear, I'm from Banja local government. I'm from a family of 4. It's irrelevant to my company. Can I meet you? My name is Shegun Lawal. I'm an HR expert. I'm a people analyst. Begin to tell me those things relevant to the vacancy. Not that you be telling me your local government, the number of children your father has, why your head is black. Those things are irrelevant. Tell me, go straight to the point. My name is Mr. Shegun Lawal. Straight to the point. The first unique thing about me compared to the job vacancy. So when I now look at you in the first 90 seconds, I will be able to buy something from you. If you don't have the right tone, the right body language, and the right expression to convey that message, you have lost that interview. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shegu. So, what we are saying here is that your packaging, starting from your dress, your courage, your responsiveness, your level of knowledge, all these things contribute to why you are employed or why you are not employed. When you have the opportunity to attend an interview, it is one of the greatest opportunities you have. Use it very well to sell yourself. For the sake of the times where we are, the pandemic has opened up a new chapter of a new vista in our life, in everything we do. And so, most of the interviews we have conducted in the last 6 months, in the last 2 years, around 1 year, 6 months, are done virtually, right? Because of the pandemic. And we have come across a lot of things. I'm going to state here, by February, Shegu, right? February, I employed an accountant for an organization in Abuja. When I placed these adverts, about 17 people applied for that advert. On the day of the interview, 15 people turned up, and I commenced the interview. When I conducted the interview for about 13 applicants, remaining 3, my phone rang. And for whatever reason, ordinarily if I'm doing an interview, I shouldn't be picking my call. For whatever reason, I picked the call. And a lady said, "Hello, my name is Gloria. I saw this vacancy through a friend. I don't know if it is late to apply." I said, "Oh, okay. As we speak, I'm conducting an interview already for this position. However, if you feel strongly that you can get the job, give me the next 10 minutes. I will create a Zoom link and conduct your interview virtually. Is it okay by you?" The lady said, "Yes, it's okay by her." And I went ahead with the physical interview. When I concluded the interview, I now created a Zoom link, sent to the lady that called me, and conducted her own interview virtually. Ladies and gentlemen, she got the job. She did not appear physically for the interview, but she got the job ahead of 15 people that came physically. Due to the level of knowledge she demonstrated, the fact that she proved beyond reasonable doubt that she was the right candidate for that position. And so, to tell you how good that lady is, last week, I made her the acting general manager of that organization because she actually did not disappoint. And so because of this, we want to conduct a virtual interview here. The two, Zainab and Paul, that you saw, is the normal thing. But we are in the new normal, right? So we are going to also test the new normal to see how people respond. Some people, there will be noise at their background. Some people will be acting as if they are sleeping and things like that. And so we have a third applicant who unfortunately cannot come for this interview physically. So we have sent a Zoom link to him, and we are going to be conducting his interview. Barrier is not a challenge. So the next candidate is Mr. David, right? So please, do your connection and check if Mr. David is online so that we can go ahead.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh,
Hello?
Good afternoon, David.
Good afternoon, sir.
This is Mr. Shegun Lawal from Nectaro Consulting.
Okay.
I'll be taking you through an interview as scheduled from the mail you received from us last week.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so are you ready for the interview now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Just in 2 seconds, we'll be linking you with other participants online. So just a second.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so welcome to the interview. Here with us is the MD of the company, Mr. Oliver,
Okay.
and our general manager, Dr. Mrs. Fatima.
Okay.
Can we meet you, please?
Okay, I'm David Adebayo Iita by name, a specialist in agricultural and bioenvironmental engineering. And above all, I have visual series of experience in agricultural field, in which I'm able to multitask in different aspects of my career.
David, I didn't hear you very well. You said you have what experience?
I have experience in agricultural and bioenvironmental engineering, and I have different experience in the field of photography. And
Mr. David, how long did you work in this your experience? How long did you work in that capacity?
For a period of 5 years.
5 years. Okay, what was your most outstanding achievement in those 5 years?
So far, I'm able to exhibit a good leadership skills in the field which I'm entrusted with, and also I am able to achieve a series of goals which the company have been able to ascertain a height.
Oh, okay. Doctor?
Okay.
Question.
Okay, what do you, okay, you said you have a lot of experiences.
Yes, ma'am.
Regarding agriculture.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what do you think can be beneficial to the organization?
Okay, if I understand you correctly, Ma, you say what would be beneficial to an organization. All right, what will be beneficial to an organization in the field of agriculture is to create a virtual innovation which will incorporate other sectors and to create other benefits in which to educate young farmers on the benefit of agriculture. Above all, to make them feel that they can be self-reliant.
Okay, if you are considered for the position of production manager in our company, first,
Yes,
I would like to ask a few questions. Are you computer literate?
Yes, sir.
What can you do on the computer?
So far, I'm able to work with Microsoft and Excel.
Okay, what's the difference between PowerPoint and Excel?
The difference between PowerPoint and Excel, a PowerPoint you can use it to make a presentation, while the Excel you use it to enter into document in digit form.
On the scale of 1 to 10, can you scale yourself on the use of Excel?
7.
Okay. As a production manager, are you, do you have a good understanding of social media, networking, marketing, and engagement?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What's your most favorable platform?
My most favorable platform is the Facebook.
Okay.
Can you give us your Facebook identity, Mr. David?
King Eliata.
Say again, take it easy. Can you send it in the chat box so we can check you up?
Okay, sir, I'll do that immediately.
Okay, I've seen it.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay, David, thank you for the opportunity to discuss with you. We will get back to you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so
Let's
the
clap for
the virtual, please clap for David and for all of them, all the participants. The virtual interview aspects, and as a matter of fact, the whole interview brings out another dimension that is a reality today. A lot of young people, when I see what you post on your WhatsApp status, on your Facebook account, your Instagram, your Twitter handle, and all these things, I shock. Do you know why I shock? Almost every time we conduct interview, we check your Instagram handle. We see what you post on those your social media handles gives your prospective employer your thought pattern, your personality. It brings in a nutshell the kind of person you are. So by the time you as a youth begin to post certain funny kind of insults, maybe insults on Nigeria or on the president or on anybody, or show yourself, send pictures, funny pictures of yourself, and write some kind of things on your social media handles, it has a far-reaching effect. It has a far-reaching effect. You can sit down on an interview panel, and the first thing they will request is, let me see your Twitter handle. Let me see your Instagram handle. Let me see your Facebook account. And they will go straight and look at it. Like Shegu said, even though an average interview session takes about 40 minutes, it takes 1 minute to decide whether we are going to employ you or not. There is a lady that came for an interview one time. Incidentally, we were together in the interview panel. And after asking the lady, can you tell us about yourself? When the lady opened her mouth and spoke for about 5 minutes, I told her, okay, thank you very much. We will get back to you. Other members of the interview panel were shocked. Because based on what that lady said, we have already known that she's spending 30 minutes with her is wasting our time. We weren't going to hire her. Do you understand? So, for virtual interview, for physical interview, it is a very fantastic opportunity to show your brand, to tell the company what you can do, what you are capable of doing, the skills you have got. Things like your digital marketing skill, your computer competency level, your, everything you think you can bring to the table, especially with respect to the advertised position, is what you are expected to say, what you are supposed to project during interview sessions. And another angle to this is your CV preparation. CV preparation. I have seen a lot of CVs where somebody will use font of 10 to write the first objective of the CV. The next section of the CV, it will use blue letters and 14 fonts. And on the other side, you see 17 fonts and yellow. We see all kinds of things. You don't need to look far to know that this person went and copied from people's whatever. Do you understand? So, your success or otherwise towards job search actually starts from your CV preparation, then through the interview process, and then the post-interview process. What is post-interview? After interview, normally, the standard practice is that we ask you, do you have a question? We can ask you all the questions in this world as we are interviewing you. But at the end of the day, we can ask you, do you have a question? Please feel free to ask. Sir, I would like to know more about the company. What is this? What is that? Ask whatever you think you need clarifications on. Nobody's going to crucify you for that. It actually shows your level of confidence and how much we can rely on you to handle some sensitive responsibilities. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for this opportunity. And also, okay, you have a few things to say. Thank you.
Before my colleague closes, I would like to add something. Are we together? If you can hear me, say hi. Okay, please, let's note this. Your certificate can bring you to a platform. Your attitude will keep you in the job, and your skill will define your level of capacity. So build capacity and promote your skills. We can be graduates of the same degree, but our skill set might be different. And finally, your mindset will affect your skill set. When you are not thinking far, you'll be looking like someone who doesn't know where he's going. So always see yourself in a greater future. Never look like what you earn. Look like what you want to be earning. Thank you.
Thank you, Shegun. Thank you, Dr. Fatima. And thank you all for listening. Thank you.
Is that all you can do for them after this powerful expo? Thank you, Mr. Oliver, for that. And, well, ladies and gentlemen, I really want to appreciate your patience and your resilience all through this meeting. So, we have a representative from Olam in the person of Mr. Joshua Egbe. He happens to be the procurement manager of Olam and is well in our midst. Please, can we receive Mr. Joshua with a great clap and applaud as he comes for, thank you. All right, put your hands together for Mr. Joshua. Yes. All right. Yes. I don't know whether he got you angry that you will not clap until he's here. Put your hands together for Mr. Joshua Egbe. Yeah, thank you.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Well, I'm not much of a public speaker, but I would just want to say one or two things about the business. First and foremost, I want to say that agriculture is the future. Yes. So if you're in the sector, if you're in the agricultural sector, keep doing what you're doing. As you can see, I'm a youth like most of us here. I'm very young, and but I've been able to grow in the business of agriculture. And I will tell you categorically that not many people in other sectors of the economy can actually do better than us. So if you're into agriculture, keep doing what you're doing. It is the key, it is the future. I'm representing my company here, and as most of you know, Olam is one of the leading companies in agro business in the world, and we have a full presence in almost all 36 states of Nigeria. In Kaduna here, most of you know the plant in Kaduna Abuja Expressway. In Zaria here, we have our warehouses. In Ilorin, we have a factory there. In different businesses also. So from the management, what they have said is this. I'm also coming out to scout for young people like me. I don't know if I'm getting your attention, please. Everything they have said here are very key factors that everybody must consider. Because trust me, when I went for my own interview as a fresh graduate, all these things came into play. All these things, I must tell you. Everything came into play. So I must repeat myself. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't lose hope in agriculture. It's the future. So as I stay here, I would also be in the lookout because we're actually looking out to get some real good and a good number of fresh graduates that will be joining our company. Yes. Probably 20 or 15 people we're looking at getting. So, but then we need to also look out for those key criteria that are very important. Trust me, you have to be proactive. Like what the role players were saying. You don't come for an interview and you have a platform to actually express yourself, to showcase yourself. Tell the world what you can do in microseconds. It doesn't take too much. Sometimes the way you say your name, sometimes when you are allowed to say what you can do, most of these things are what really matters. Because at the end of the day, 5 minutes is not enough. But few seconds, they can just get those key important virtues they are looking for from whoever they want to hire or recruit. So I don't wish to say too much. Like I said, I'm here primarily to look out and get the few names I can get before I return back to base. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. See, that your clap is so unacceptable. You are looking for a job and somebody is coming to take names and you are clapping as if you are not clapping. All right. Thank you, Mr. Joshua. So my colleague Vera will link up with you and we'll take this conversation forward. I just wish to let you know we have trained over 300 young men and women across the agricultural business space. We've sent them for internships. So I can assure you that in this crop of young men, you will surely get those kind of expertise you should seek. So I also welcome representative from Premier Seed for their own comments. Put your hands together for representative from Premier Seed.
My name is Veki Ali. I'm the research officer in Premier Seed Nigeria Limited. I'm actually very happy to see the turnout here, the number of youths, and the number of females too. As you know, agribusiness, you don't see a lot of females in it, but as I can see, the percentage here today is somehow balanced. There are females and there are males, and I just want to say, you should take notes and make use of this opportunity to be able to build on yourself and go higher. Like in Premier Seed, we have a lot of openings too. As I'm sure they've clearly mentioned, there are a lot of openings in the agri-business. There are a lot of things you can do. Like, for example, I'm just going to start with our Outgrowers program, for example. It's a program whereby we register farmers, youths like you can become outgrowers for our company. You come, we give you inputs at a discounted price. We provide the inputs such as the seed, the fertilizer, the chemical, and then we supervise your fields. And at harvest, we buy back from you at a price considerably higher than the market price. So it's a win-win either way. So I just want you all to take use of this opportunity. And if you'd like to partner with us in Premier Seed, please, you're always welcome. Our company is located at Chikaji Industrial Estate area. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have learned one thing or the other from this platform. I know I have, for example. So I want you to take use of this opportunity you've gotten, and it will take you to great places. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Put your hands together for Premier Seed. And so you have to put your hands again for the last person who is coming up to speak on behalf of Value Seed in the person of Mr. Michael. Put your hands together for Mr. Michael. He's coming to speak on behalf of the management of Value Seed. I saw most of your interns are here and they are not clapping. Put your hands together. Yeah, good. Value Seed is one of our partners. We sent our trainees there and they retained some of them. So we hold them in very high regard. So we celebrate you. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm Michael Adebayo, the group admin of Value Seeds Limited. We are known for quality, and we don't want to compromise. For those who have our seeds, for farmers who have our seeds, they will tell you they want to come, and that is our differentiating factor. Yes, we've retained 10% out of the 2 cohorts. We had an observation. It's not about the job. The first thing we tackle is the right attitude to work. If it is skill, we can get it anywhere. But the right attitude is scarce. So what we engineer for us is the right attitude to work. Punctuality, the test of obedience is in simple instruction. If you can't do this, you are not part of us. It's either you are in the wrong company or you are the wrong person in the right company. So we don't compromise that. So it tells us that. So we encourage you to be self-disciplined. Please, I will say this to youth in the house. Please, always write. Always write. It's not good. You can't keep everything in your brain, except that's the only important thing in your life. So always write. There are many important things. Professor Onyibe talked about idea crisis. When ideas come and you don't write, another idea comes, you forget the previous one, what you are building on. And please leverage on these opportunities. Yes, we are seed companies. We also provide market for our seeds. We provide inputs for farmers, but we want farmers to understand that seed is very important. It's not something to eat, because that is the future. So farmers look at fertilizers, they look at everything, but the basic surviving structure in the agricultural sector is seed. So we are located in the outskirts of Zaria, that is Zaria-Kano Expressway. You can find us online at www.valueseedsltd.com. Our social media platform, most especially Facebook, you can follow us at Value Seeds NG. You will like what you see, and we want you to be part of us. Thank you very much.
It's still an honor to have the representative of the Honorable Commissioner of Agriculture still present. You know, he started with us, and then we are coming to a conclusion, and he's still here. I want you to convey this message to the Honorable Commissioner, sir. We're really privileged and we're honored for her support. From the beginning, our arrival in Kaduna, she has been supportive, and all through the success of this particular program. We can't claim it all without mentioning her. I want to appreciate NRLS. I want to appreciate our value seed. I want to appreciate a lot of people that have been with us all through this journey, to see that a lot of you were trained. Most of our trainings, we didn't just do them in the classroom. We sent you for practical sessions, and that was where you learned your technical and experiential learning. We appreciate everyone that created time out of our busy schedules to make it for this conference. We want to tell you that this is not just it. A lot of people kept asking, it's been 6 weeks training, and after that, we didn't hear anything. There is more that is being done. We didn't just do the training to just leave you. We didn't do the training to just for the fun of it. No. As it was demonstrated, there is more that is needed for you to be employable. It's more than just having a certificate. But a lot of things needs to be done. Your CV, your cover letter, quite a lot. We engaged you with Jobber Man, and a lot of you have finished your courses. But then, we're coming back. And then we'll not stop until a lot of you are placed. Thank you so much for your time. The young youth have left, but then I want to appreciate their teachers. I want to appreciate the communities for releasing them to be part of our Start Them Early program. Thank you so much, and we'll continue to communicate. And as I promised, we will not stop until you are all settled. Thank you so much on behalf of the IU2 team. We're grateful.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you are doing well and that you're fine. Please permit me to stand on existing protocols. We appreciate all our invited guests, dignitaries, training service providers, and partners present here today. Thank you to all our speakers and panelists for the insightful conversations and words of wisdom. You all deserve rounds of applause. Thank you so much. My IELTS team, good job. And to our primary focus, the trainees who we now refer to as IELTS fellows, congratulations. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I stand here representing the IELTS team to recap the engagements of the past 2 days. We must keep in mind that learning does not start and stop with the training sessions. We must take care of all the stages of learning transfer. That's before the training, during the training, and after the training. The IELTS project has adopted pre-training, core training, and post-training strategies to ensure we deliver the quality curriculum which you've benefited from. We are not stopping here, as we are innovating and developing various mechanisms to achieve our goal of skilling over 40,000 and enabling over 200,000 young women and men like you to secure dignified and fulfilling work in agri-food value chains. Over the next 4 years, the project has already completed its year 1, and will be doing so in Kano, Kaduna, and Lagos. You have listened to the highlights of the training in the presentation earlier today. Today, we have conveyed this conference, the first of our post-training support to bring the year 1 training to an end. And it's my hope that the following may have been ticked off your list. Firstly, networking. Did you network? Trainees, did you network? Please make your pitch, shoot your shot, as we would say, and do not stop here. Integrate with other fellows. That is an important dimension to social learning, which is sometimes overlooked. To integrate with your other fellows, network with all the heads of industry seated here with you today, the finance people, the HR people. Please make sure you network. How well did you gain from the panel sessions? How do you feel? Yesterday, we spoke about bottlenecks in financing and markets for entrepreneurship. Today, we have discussed employability-related issues. We have hosted a refresher session on negotiations, personal presentation. What did you gain from here, and how are you going to translate this into your business? At the Business or Employment Clinic, did you get a chance to review or discuss your business plans? Did you get a chance to revamp your CV or resume, or have you gained the knowledge to be able to go back to do this? Again, I ask you, what did you gain from the role play on the job interviews? My entrepreneurship cohort, young farmers team, have you completed your business plans? The employment cohort, have you completed your soft skills training? Please, I encourage you to do the needful to move forward. As we move forward, we shall be conducting mentorship sessions, boot camps to provide and update new and emerging ideas to support you towards achieving your goals or the gains of your chosen track. Please feel free to reach out to the IUT team through our contact information displayed on the screen. Once again, congratulations and all the best. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your day.